Lynn is taking matters into her own hands. Tobias has found a new lost boy, and Jen is getting real comfortable with those powers. All that and more. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What is up, y'all? We're back for another episode of Black Lightning. Please forgive me. I sound like a sexy telephone operator tonight. I'm your girl, Chae Jones. We have so much to talk about in this episode, but before we hop into everything, we have got one of our OGs back in the building and one of my other fave panelists, so you guys introduce yourselves.
Hey guys, Chae Jones back, and I'm so excited because this episode, there's so much to talk about.
Welcome back, Shay. Shout out to Joelle.
We love you.
But I'm Porchia Carter, guys. Welcome back. This is our mid-season finale.
I know. Oh my gosh. But
It's okay. They're coming back next month.
they are, and it was not a disappointing episode. Like I said before, Lynn is taking matters into her own hands, and she is out here being a bad mama jamma. Plus, we get introduced to the character Todd, and Jennifer is really, those powers. She's starting to use them like no other.
Yeah, she doing good. You doing good, girl. I love it.
Good. Plus, you guys, we have our OMBL moment of the week. So you guys start thinking about those and get them in our chat right now so we can shout you all out. And as always, Portia's going to break down what Gamby's been up to, honey, and Gamdar. So stay tuned to the very end of the episode to join us on those segments. This is the mid-season finale. What is your all's initial reactions? Thoughts?
My initial reaction, amazing. Kudos to Jen and the way she's, coming into herself and her powers. It's awesome. That was my first thought.
I love it, especially the end song to end it that way because, like Jen said, she's a ride or die, and I'm just like, if you with Jen, at the end of the day, she's always gonna be loyal to you, and I respect that. However, choices that she made, questionable. But I loved it, and Lynn's tripping.
Well, let's hop into it because I always think it's really interesting in an episode when the audience knows what's going on both ends, even when all characters aren't filled in. So, for instance, we know what's going on with Jennifer, but Lynn doesn't. Lynn is, thinking of the worst, and she's kind of deciding like she's done with trying to depend on Jefferson to get it done, so she herself is taking matters into her own hands.
She's taking weird matters.
Yeah.
Very weird. Like, who's just out of the blue want to find somebody jailbird daddy? Like,
I mean, I think for her it's more the things she can't control. If she can hopefully find his dad, then maybe she can be able to find her daughter, because then that's the only reason she's spiraling right now is because she doesn't know where Jennifer is or what's happening to her.
I think there's a really interesting theme of parental guilt amongst Black parents that's kind of happening with Lynn kind of blaming herself for what's going on with Jennifer, and then we also see the same blame with Khalil when she brings up her son who passed away when he was 15. He was killed because he joined the 100 gang, and then what's going on with Khalil now. And I just think I say this every week, but every week it's proven true. I love that the Brock Keels managed to take real life and make it and portray it so well on TV and make it something that's so relatable. But so Lynn does find Khalil's dad, and they kind of have an interesting conversation. We find out that Lynn, or that Khalil has a secret apartment that he actually didn't always live with Tobias. Like, he had his own kind of apartment. I don't know. I don't have good feelings about it. I think Tobias knows a lot. I think Khalil's not nearly as slick as he likes to think, and I feel like we might see our girl Lynn in some trouble. What about you guys?
She's definitely in trouble. I legit just want to be like, Molly, you in danger, girl. Because even though you're not relying on your husband to handle bringing your child back, okay, I understand that, because we all go, like you said, she feels guilty, and there's also the own grief that she has to deal with. But taking matters in her own hands without any backup is dangerous, and she's going to get herself in more danger by doing this by her lonesome than Jen's going to be doing it with Khalil.
Well, she got herself a gun. So she definitely does have protection. She just needs to learn how to use that protection in a very efficient manner. She got to pull it out when she need to pull it out. And it need to be quicker than, rolling up on people face to face. She needs to be a lot smarter than that. But I don't think she's going to get hurt. I don't think she's going to be in trouble. I think she's going to just keep running into dead ends, just trying to figure out what's going on with her daughter and not being able to get an answer or find a solution. And then, maybe turn back to the bottle, maybe start drinking again. I think it's going to be like, let's keep her safe at home crying and being emotional about it rather than sending her out to do our dirty work because she can't be out here by herself.
Yeah, I definitely think she's going through like the different stages of grief almost. I mean, we've seen her go through anger. We've seen multiple stages. So I'm interested to see what they portray next when we come back to the season. I do like seeing Lynn kind of out in the field though. I feel like she's a really strong character and I like utilizing her as more of a badass than, just the neurosurgeon mom So I don't know. I like seeing her out. I want to see her out more, doing more things. What's Batman's butler's name?
Alfred.
Alfred. Even Alfred, in some of the comics, got out and did some things when he needed to, So I'm just saying, like, it's not always kicking it in the cave. I like her being out in the field, and she always looks stylish. Portia girl, I know you want to help the people, because there's always so many looks on Black Lightning, whether it's
many looks, and I know things. No, Christmas is coming up, New Year's is coming up, and you need an outfit, and I got the perfect place for it. Have you heard of Poshmark? I know we talked about it last week, but have you heard of it? Okay, so Poshmark, if you download the app, you get on there, girl, they got everything for the low. I'm talking about Louis, Gucci, everything that you need. Like, Louis Vuitton bag, only $300, okay? Saw that last week.
$300. Then I can purchase it.
I am not about to play with you, but they have all types of fashions for women, kids, men, all of that. Like anything you need. So you're basically shopping out of people's closets. And then you can also, sell your things that you need, that you have as well. Any of your old things.
You can get your $300 from selling all those clothes.
Yeah, let somebody shop in your closet. Download the app, do what you do, and let somebody pick from your stuff and then get your money to get that $300 Louis V bag that I got, okay? Because it's definitely doable. So, AfterBuzzers, if you want to shop on Poshmark, all you have to do is, get our invite code. You can type in AfterBuzz, all caps. It's just AfterBuzz, not AfterBuzz TV, just AfterBuzz, and you receive $5 off your first purchase.
That covers shipping. And
don't you want $5 off?
I do.
And free shipping?
I love free shipping.
I love free shipping.
$5 covers free shipping, y'all. I'm that person who I'll spend $200 on some clothes. Yeah. And then the second that $3 shipping fee comes up, I'm like, do I really want this?
Yeah, because I have a real deal budget. Like, a real deal budget. And if the shipping goes over the budget, then now I got to take something off my list. Yeah. And the last thing I want to do is take something off my list. So y'all make sure y'all use our invite code, AfterBuzz. Type it in and you get $5. Okay.
Yes, honey. Get that style. So Jefferson and Anissa are trying to figure out where our girl Jen is, but there's a lot of, I feel like I'm sensing a lot of tension between them. What did you guys think of Jefferson and Anissa tonight?
They definitely have a lot of tension because they're on the going back and forth. Jefferson is being the father that he is, He's upset. His youngest baby girl is out there. He thinks both of them are thieves. So not only is he looking for Jen, but now he's keeping Anissa as close as possible because you not going to get away from me again, too. And then Anissa realizes that he still feels some type of way from the last conversation that they had, per our last conversation. That he, was basically putting the blame on her for not saying anything about Khalil. So they have this thing where they're kind of going back and forth with each other. And it's really nothing either of them can do. She is, kind of friction-like with him. And then he doesn't trust her. So it's definitely going to be tension throughout the rest of the journey until they find her. I'm expecting that.
For me, it's almost kind of most of what we saw first season. Jefferson's very, like, when he gets emotional, he loses all focus. And I'm like, dude, we don't have kind of that time. We need you to be focused. Obviously, nobody's saying don't be her dad, because you're always going to be her dad. But I need you to be Black Lightning at this moment. I need you to focus on the goal than fighting with your daughter, because fighting with your other daughter is not going to save the one you need to find.
That's facts.
That is very true. And I mean, they keep, like, they're on the trail, but they keep missing it by minutes. Even, you know, when they show up to the hospital and they already see that Jennifer's kind of raided it and gone through it. Like, there's just a lot of frustration. I agree, he's definitely functioning on emotions, which was a big downfall for him last season. And kind of set up why we're dealing with, I mean, the whole first part of season 2 is, you know, the book of consequences. It's him dealing for the actions of him acting out of his emotions. So it doesn't seem like Jefferson's learned too much from the last. But I kind of like that.
It's his baby girl, though. So that's tough. Like, you can, you know, be calm all day. But when it comes to your child, it's really nothing. I'm not a parent, you know, and I don't know what I would do in that moment. But I do know that I've seen a lot of parents in turmoil about their children, and they act way worse than he do. So it's turn up central. It's baby girl.
Turn up central.
True. It is very, it is very hard to act out when it's somebody. Like, it's one thing to be a superhero when it's someone you don't know, but when it's
your baby,
when your baby, it's kind of hard to, like, have a sense of.
That's like Mama Bear done lost her cub. Mm-hmm. Everybody in the woods got to die.
I mean,
till she find her.
But I like that tonight's episode wasn't it wasn't super focused on Jefferson and Anissa, because I feel like they were in it and they had, like, a valid part of the episode, but I feel like there's so many strong characters. I liked having it shine on other. I love that Lynn had such a strong storyline. I love that, you know, it focused on Jen. I'm really interested in this new character that we're introduced to, Todd, who the first moment we meet him, he is finding out that he didn't get this grant because basically the rich white kid's dad bought, you know, a hall at the school.
But my thing is, if you got the money to buy the hall, buy your kid the grant. Like, give him the money that he need to do what he got to do. Like,
I think it's more of a title. I think it's more of being able to say I have a grant, like I have a title, you know, like it's because it shows an accomplishment. Like, there's a difference between there's a difference of, like, me being impressed with you if you went to Harvard and, you know, like, your parents paid for it and whatever. But if you went to Harvard on a full ride scholarship, that's you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the more impressive. Like, oh damn, like.
Especially for a research grant, because everybody looks at where the money's coming from. And if just your parent is funding your research, then it's kind of a little bit of a joke. Maybe they don't really believe in what you're researching in the first place.
Yeah. And it is, and I feel like the frustration that we kind of see Todd go through and, like, what's the point of it all is something that I feel like so many people of color tend to go through, especially when it comes to, like, academics and whatnot, because there's always that sense of, like, why do I have to work 4 times just as hard and I'm still not on the same playing field as you? So I feel like that's something that's so common in academics for especially the Black community, and so we see that Todd kind of comes out in frustration, and there's an invitation to the 100 Club basically on his car, and it's instantly like, you know, your talents are being valued but not in the best way.
Yeah.
And he is, like, it's interesting what Tobias told him, because when he said it at first, I had to really rewind and, like, listen to it again. He said, "'Cause it's the Black man's burden to carry the weight of the white privilege. Without the benefits of being rich and white, you'll never be anything than second best, unless, of course, you change the game." And hearing it, it's kind of, you feel how true it is, though, because it feels like we're always taking 3 steps, but then getting knocked, like, 5 steps back.
Yeah, I feel like everyone has their own story where it's been something like that. I mean, I was number 1 in my high school class until magically it was time to graduate, and I somehow got bumped down 0.02 GPA and became salutatorian rather than valedictorian to the principal's daughter, magically. But I think it's something that we all it's something like everyone's been through. Every person of color has been through in some way, shape, or form, and it's another opportunity where Black Lightning, the show, really takes a real issue and makes it real. But what's scary about this is potential is so often, when it's put in something, when it's misdirected, can be explosive. And I think
and that's where I come from with the whole Todd thing, because all right, black man out here doing your thing, your research, you done graduated top of your class, you got degrees,
At
all
21,
that.
like
You on that. I salute you. But at the end of the day, don't see dollar signs and get to doing evil with your work. And all of your hard work is going to it's not going to the greater good. Now it is on the opposite side of the greater good, and it's just like, which side of the fence do you want to be on? Do you want money to rule all of your actions and everything that you do? Because the love of money is the root of all evil. So now you got this evil that you're planning to do that you don't even know you're planning to do. You signed up he signed up blindly. Blindly signed up for something because he saw dollar signs. And that just says a lot about us as a community when we see opportunity and we believe that, I feel like some people take the opportunity that's going to give them the most money rather than using wisdom and figuring out a pathway to make it work so that it could help people and change lives. We're all on the earth to change lives, to help people, to make the world a better place. Now, you do yourself a disservice by signing up for opportunities that have a quick fix. Ain't nothing ever came good out of no fast cash, okay?
Really.
So if you don't get that together and navigate your abilities in a proper manner, then you're going to be out here somewhere being chased around by Tobias as well, because obviously he going to be doing stuff that you don't want to do. You see, the councilman ain't right with him no more. Like, it just don't work out that way.
But to piggyback off that, some of my favorite quotes still and will always be, make the money, but don't let the money make you. Because once you let the money make you, you're just now, it's like a drug. And you can't quit it. And once you're addicted to something, it's like when drug dealers give you the first taste for free. You're going to be hooked for life now. Never take something that's free unless you actually know the consequences behind the free.
Unless it's a free wig or, I'm sorry. Or if you find something free on Poshmark, okay?
But shout out to the actor who plays Todd, R.J. Seiler. If for those of you who might not recognize him, he was the Blue Power Ranger in the new movies. So I feel like because he has that background, we might see, not like he's not going to be Painkiller, but I think he might be maybe Tobias's new henchman. And because he's so smart and stuff, we might see some really interesting gadgets come out from him. R.J. Seiler is like a pretty well-known actor as far as Sci-Fi stuff. So I feel like this isn't just a 1 or 2 episode. I think he might have a legitimate.
His Nugget Nation about to go crazy.
Yeah. So maybe we'll try to get him in the studio. We'll see what we can do. I think that'd be fun. But yeah, I definitely feel like we're gonna see he's gonna be the new Khalil. His causing damage rooted in his own pain type situation.
Tobias ain't hiring him for nothing.
Yeah.
He ain't just hiring no anybody. This man. Oh, excuse me. This man definitely has a plan. I got the hiccups. Ooh.
So, meanwhile, while all this is happening, we're also watching the post results of the fight with Cutter. Jennifer and Khalil are running off. Khalil's hurt. They can't get very far because he's hurt, and so Jen is trying to figure out what to do, and she does end up using her powers at the hospital to get supplies, but it's not enough, and so she eventually realizes she has to figure out this whole antidote thing. And we kind of see her do a really interesting thing with her powers where she almost I don't even know how to explain it. She watches herself.
Well, it's okay. You mean when she's in the mind space thing?
Yeah.
Wasn't that person her fear? The fear that lives within her? That's what I got from it. It was a part of her brain that was her fear. Yeah, that's where she normally goes to go deal with that stuff with Perina, but she sees I don't know, she sees an alternate version of herself, and they realize that she the Cutter's watching them. I don't know, I feel like
I feel like it was kind of a representation of like self-awareness and like, I don't know. I was very interested by the whole scene. I didn't necessarily, I didn't get it, but it wasn't something that's like comic book based, I don't think.
I thought it was only because Perina said that for her to figure out what's going through her, she already knows the answer inside of her. And so her fear and what her goal is has to become one.
Yeah, so like self-awareness.
Okay, that counts. Never mind.
Were you wanting to say something?
Well, yeah, I just thought it was like, I thought it was herself in that headspace, the self that went to therapy, the self that understood that I have to be able to control my powers, I have to be able to navigate certain emotions, you know, and I believe that because she has these like magnified powers, that self was already waiting because she already knew where she had to go. Because like Perina said, it's already in you. So she already knew the kind of headspace that she had to be in. So she was there just waiting for Jen to come to herself. And so Jen comes to herself. And then while she comes to herself, she realizes, okay, you're a generator. You have these, you know, this electricity power where you can actually control electricity not only in someone's not only physically but in someone's body, and you can actually see their iron, all types of stuff. Like they had this like little chemistry lesson, and she's starting to remember things that she learned in school, because that coming to herself is like, oh, I've been there and I've done this. I've learned these things. Let me just use my brain to figure it out. And she figures it out piece by piece, and then unlocking those portions of her brain by coming to herself allows her to unlock those portions of her powers too, because now she sees her in the wood, and she doesn't see her physically. She sees her electricity that's flowing through her body, the batteries from the binoculars, and then everything that she has going on inside of her. And I believe what you said about the other self being fear as well, because her reaction was to run. So Jen listens to that just to get homegirl out the way, to make her think that she gone away so she could do what she got to do, because she already knew she was coming in to come save her man. Okay.
I love it. And I love that we get to see Jen really like start to hone in on these powers. I mean, she disables Cutter and basically, you know, threatens to use her own weapon against her. And
what she did, only thing I would say for that entire scene, I love the fact she cut her. But if it was me, I would have cut her a couple more times and took both necklaces, because she left her with one. So my only question is, where was the other antidote in the second necklace that she left on her neck?
I felt more that it was also an antidote, and Jen's not a killer. I think
she probably gave it to her though, because she used the first one on Khalil, and she said, I gave her the other antidote.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
She probably used it on her already, but you know, there's more where that came from with Cutter. I just personally believe that Jen should have left her sitting there without giving her the antidote. but you know, Jen, she's not a killer. So
yeah, I think like it's easy for us to be like, oh, like she should just kill her off, but I think like that completely changes the heroic makeup of Jen. I think there's
they definitely painted her as a hero.
There's superheroes who try really hard not to kill, like the Flash, and then there's superheroes who have killed and don't take that, like, not that they don't take it seriously, but it doesn't sit on their conscience the same way, like Arrow. Yeah. So I think definitely like Black Lightning is a show more so where like they value
clean hands.
Yeah.
They want all of the heroes to have clean hands, even though Anissa been out here doing her thing.
Yeah. So after Jennifer helps Khalil, he suggests that she goes home to be with her family. And it's like they haven't seen the results of what, you know, Lynn and Jefferson are going through, but it almost like you as a viewer kind of agree, because you're like, Lynn's losing her ever-loving mind. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, but she refuses, and you know, we kind of see her in her first true like breath of confidence be like, no, I can take care of myself, which I like. Even though I want her to go home, I kind of was hyped to see this like new confident like badass.
She down to ride for her man. At the end of the day, and
her child. At the end of the day, the one thing you never piss off is a mom. Yeah. And a mama with a vengeance is a person you don't want to play with. Like, let's be real.
But with the whole Jen not wanting to go home and wanting to be there for Khalil, it kind of gives me hope about her character. You know, she said, I love you, so let me not, you know, love you and then leave you. Let me love you and then show you that I love you by staying. Let my actions speak louder than my words. I'm going to stay with you. I'm going to protect you by any means necessary, because she done went through all of anything she could have been. She said, we done been through too much together already. It's a wrap on me leaving you. It's like she breaking into hospitals, drawers, stealing antidote. She done cut a whole chick. Like, it's nothing else. It's nothing else that we have left to do. I got you. You got me. We in this together. And I think Khalil's insecurities of, you know, having lost a big brother and then having, you know, lost a father to the system, it's like he has this background and these wounds and brokenness of losing people and people not being there for him anymore, or people, you know, using him to their advantage with manipulation. But he kind of like taps at that, and when Jen shuts it down, it's like, dang, like this is real love. Like, okay, now I can really trust her. Now I know she got my best interest at heart. So if I'm gonna be running away with anybody, I'm running away with her. She's definitely the Bonnie to my Clyde.
What I love is the title, The Gift of Magi. If you guys don't know the story, just quick synopsis. It takes place at a Christmas time and tells the story of a poor young married couple who don't have enough money to buy each other a Christmas gift. As the gift of Magi unfolds, both sell their most prized possession to pay for a gift for the other. And it actually embodies what this episode is in the most perfect way. Like Jen's most prized possession is her family, but she is giving it up to be with the person she loves.
And Khalil just ain't got nothing to lose. So
Well, Jen he has her to lose. Like, him offering to send her back to her family, I think was a little bit selfless on his part.
Yeah.
That is the most selfless thing he has actually done in this entire season.
Yeah, but if I got, you know, if I'm rolling with a fool that got some powers, you ain't going nowhere.
Speaking of fools with some powers, in the last couple minutes, we get a quick little glimpse of this guy who comes up into a bar and just goes off.
He goes completely off, and I just want to shout out to the Achilles. And because they use him in Love Is. So his name is Tosin, because we had him on our Love Is show. But his name is Tosin, and for him to get a role as a new black man with a sexy beard on the show, it's just amazing. You know, first of all, he's eye candy. Thank you. And then second of all, like, he doing the darn thing. Granted, I believe his thing is dirty and evil, whatever he got going on. Because he shanking folks real quick, like taking them out, he's shooting them, and he disappearing. So obviously he's a meta that Gambi ain't, you know, caught yet. We gonna get into that in Gamdar, but it's something about him. He wanted a 30.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm excited to see these like metas being introduced. Like we had with the Looker. Now we have him. Like I kind of like that the way that they're introducing these metas. I think it's really cool, and I like that they have not just one episode where it's a one and done. I like that there's like these mini character arches with them.
I'm just trying to figure out who exactly called him, because if it's not Tobias, like, what else is going on in Freeland?
Well, I mean, with the Looker, Tobias didn't call the Looker. she was her own thing, you know. So he might. I mean, Freeland might be home for him. He might be returning home. We'll have. I mean, we don't.
He getting paid for something.
I say we don't.
Unless Khalil Daddy called him. Look, and homeboy, them two was in the pen together.
I mean,
he could have just operated and teleported himself out the pen. So
yeah,
I don't know. I have no idea. I guess we're gonna have to figure out who he is in the next couple episodes. I mean, we have a break for a minute so we can all ponder it for a while. But let's get into OMBL. For those of you who don't know, like our girl Chae, who's back for the week, OMBL is Oh My Black Lightning. It's our OMG moment of the week. There were a lot of them this week, so in the chat, you guys let us know what your OMBL moment was. Porchia, you want to kick it off?
My OMBL moment was Tosin. Well, not Tosin, the real Tosin, but the character that he played. I don't know. We don't have a name yet.
Yeah, we don't have a name for him.
But the guy, you know, coming in just because it was so random. You know, I could see everything else happening, but him, it was just so random. Like, dude, you know, but that's the way they decided to introduce him, coming in, you know, guns a-blazing, chasing blood, okay? And then my second OMBL moment was when Jen popped up at the hair shop with Perina and her other self. It was just like, oh my BL, what's going on here?
Shay.
Definitely that one. But also Lynn rolling up on Khalil's dad, like trying to hide the gun. I was just like, Lynn, sweetie, either the gun's too big for you or you need to work out your style choices before you try to go roll up on the dude.
She should have grabbed a smaller gun.
Right? That just seems, smart. But Erica,
she ain't playing, though.
Erica Alexander looks flawless, and she legit needs to do Living Single one more time for how she looks, because she has not aged. That's not fair.
It is not fair. My OMBL moment would be man, this is hard. I really like seeing Jen have this sense of self-awareness. Like, I really like seeing her confident, because all of season 1 we just saw constant like turmoil for her, and especially the beginning of season 2. So I like kind of seeing her character grow, and so seeing her be a badass and take on Cutter. I like that. That was an OMBL moment for me. But let's look at the chat and see what Black Magic says. That their OMBL moment was definitely Gamby checking Jeff, which Portia is going to let y'all know all about in just a minute. What else? Let's see. Ivan's was the teleporting meta and Gamby knocking Jefferson out. Sebra said Jen messing Cutter up was great. Yeah, there's a lot of really good moments this episode, but if you guys are not watching this live, you can make sure to do it in the comments. Let us know what the OMBL moment is, because we love chatting with you guys throughout the week. Let's hop into Gamdar.
Okay, guys, so Gamdar, let me just paint you guys the scene that happened tonight. So Anissa spots the security guard talking about power. You know, the power went out. She automatically thinks it's her sister. They get to the van. They let Gamby know. Gamby gets the cameras. He sees Jen there. Then, not only do they see Jen there, Anissa stops the cameras like, oh, who is this? Beep. Talking about Cutter. She like, oh, okay, so we see her. So now Jeff is all extra emotional and he's upset. First of all, Jen went east, so he want to go east. And then second of all, homegirl, the Cutter is out on his daughter. So he goes outside and he begins to shoot up with his powers, you know, to fly away, and Gamby pulls him down. He not only pulls him down once or twice, but he does it 3 times. He does it 3 times, and on the 3rd time, because they having this conversation, he like, you gotta calm down, you can't be running off on a tangent. On the 3rd time that he did it, he literally picks Jefferson up off his 2 feet and slams him on the ground and looks at him and say, I made you. That right there took me out. That should have been my OMBL, because I was like, oh my BL. I'm sorry, that was a lot. But I was just really appalled that he did that to him. You know? Calm him down in the best way you can, but to be manhandling Jefferson, like, of all people...
Wait.
Like, they could go out into a fault, because Jefferson don't have too much logic right now. So he can obviously start trying to use his powers on you, start trying to zap you, and y'all gonna be going head to head. Like, calm him down in a better way. And I feel like that was our first time seeing Gamby act out of his emotions and out of his anger, because this man is a pretty logical man. He knows how to, you know, navigate through certain situations. But this one, it threw him through the roof. He like, nah, I'm going, you know, knock you out. But that whole I made you thing was a lot for me, because I'm just like, what you got going on, Gamby? What you mean you made him?
He said raised.
Oh, I thought he said made.
Raised. I raised you.
I think it was like Gamby.
I thought he said made. Maybe I did, because I rewinded it. I'm like, did he say I made
He said,
you?
are you out of your mind? I raised you.
Yeah, he said raised.
Oh, okay, so I thought he said made.
Which one?
My bad, y'all. I thought he said made because that was bad, you know?
Yeah.
But the whole I raised you thing, okay, cool. Now I understand. Now I got a better understanding, because I thought it was just too much at first.
I think sometimes, like, it, you know, like in movies or whatever, when like someone's freaking out and someone just like throws water in their face or like slaps them back to reality. I feel like that was like the Black Lightning version of slapping
come to Jesus
someone.
moment.
Yeah, the come to Jesus moment. Because like you can't just slap Jeff. You gotta kind of like knock the breath up out of him.
He
for a
picked him up
second.
off his 2 feet and slammed him on the ground and was just like, you know, if you get back up, it's going down. And I was ready to see the fight. I couldn't believe Gambi did it, but I was ready to see the fight. And I really believe, like, it's going to unfold that Gambi is a meta or something, because you ain't just picking up Black Lightning and throwing him down without nothing being in your blood.
Yeah, he did that real effortlessly.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, he was an agent for however long before he stopped. I mean, I don't think that means he stopped training though. Too.
I'm saying, but he's a little bit elderly, so
He's a fan.
He pretty elderly, okay? He got some up his sleeve. Mm-hmm.
I would be interested. I kind of like that theory that you have about maybe something going on there, because I mean, obviously Tobias has like super strength. It would be kind of interesting to see if.
And Tobias got the super strength from Gambi.
Yeah, so it would be interesting to see if maybe Gambi sipping on whatever Tobias is. But let's hop into.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I would like to point out in the first season, I kind of called Khalil if he went bad, he's gonna go to Jen's side, and I was right. So I just want to say, yay! It was true.
It was true. You're correct.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
Like in the first season, I predicted that even if Khalil was actually bad, he'd eventually come back to the good side because of Jen.
Well, I mean, yeah, they've painted this whole Romeo and Juliet thing this entire time. So
As long as nobody dies like Romeo and Juliet, I'm happy about my life.
I mean, we'll see. He's a series regular for now, but that could easily change. But let's
I hope not.
Especially if Jefferson gets his hands on him.
let's hop into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So this is the mid-season finale, like I said before. So we will not be back until January 21st.
They have a new night.
They
They're
have a
on
new
Mondays
night.
instead of Tuesdays.
Mondays instead of Tuesdays. We will let you guys know if we are switching up nights ourselves. I think we're discussing it. We might possibly switch over to Monday nights, but again, we'll let you all know.
We need that because we can't do the 22nd. That's my birthday. January 22nd is my birthday, so we won't be here, okay? Or at least I won't.
So let's hop into predictions. What do you guys think is going to happen for the second half of the season?
I really don't know. Like, I'm at a crossroads in my brain. I definitely think Khalil and Jen are going to stop running eventually, and Khalil's going to find out that her whole family is Black Lightning and Thunder and superheroes. That's all I got.
I actually agree with her. And if that happens, I legit, he's going to just spill everything he knows about Tobias. Well, it's just going to come up and revert, and then hopefully Jefferson can just end it. It'll be a nice ending, and I would be really happy about that situation. I feel like before they either decide to go back or they actually get found, Lynn's definitely going to be doing a lot more her own detective work to find her daughter. Because even though she's still, in pain, spiraling, I don't think that's really going to stop her from looking for the answers she's not getting from Jefferson.
I think Lynn, I'm going to stand by my earlier statement. I think Lynn is going to find herself in some trouble. Last episode, we did see that Tobias was starting to put the pieces together of exactly who Black Lightning was. And so I think he's not dumb. I think he's going to use it to his advantage. And if Lynn's the pawn that he has to use, and Lynn's the pawn he has to use to, lure Black Lightning out. So I'm interested to see how that all plays out.
Yeah, I definitely want to know who called Tosin.
Yeah, and I want to know more about that character, because he has his powers definitely one of the more aggressive ones we've seen, and I'm interested to see how that all plays out. But you guys, let us know what you all think in the comments. Let us know what you guys think on Twitter and all of that. Like I said, we won't be back till January 21st, but we want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Until then, if you want to see what I'm up to on the break, you can follow me on all the things at OK Drew J.
Hey guys, you can follow me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram, and either end of this year or the beginning of next year, my YouTube channel, Unapologetically Chae, will be live, and I'm super excited to tune in.
That's amazing. And guys, I am on all things social media at Porchia Carter, so come join me for the holidays, okay?
All right, guys, stay safe out there.
Bye guys, miss you.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.